Russian and Chinese are brothers for centuries, said Putin while giving a speech in China. With Russia facing a war with the West, Russia found strong support from China. Never has the Russian and Chinese relationship been that good. There is only one reason, and it's the West. For the last decade, the West has been applying an aggressive policy towards China and Russia. NATO expansion and creation of another NATO near borders China is one of the shining examples. It's funny to see all these Western articles for the past maybe 5-10 years, where Western mass media were writing about a possible nightmare for the West if the Russian-Chinese alliance appeared. Now it's a reality. Xi Jinping told Putin that Chinese-Russian ties should be maintained for generations. Xi Jinping said his country is ready to work with Russia as a good neighbor, friend and partner of mutual trust, state broadcast Chinese Central Television reported on Thursday after the meeting in Beijing. He added that he is ready to strengthen the friendship between the two nations for many generations. Russia and China were looking at each other cautiously for a long time. Two big countries with nuclear weapons and strong armies is not an ideal situation. Yet the same enemy which wants to destroy them made them to see in each other a strong side. Russia is the energy resources, China is technology. Before, when the EU had politics which were trying to mainly think about Europe, Russia was between China and Europe. After the failed attempt of entirely destroying Russia through military and economic defeat in Ukraine, Russia and the entire world see the hypocritical West, especially European leaders, as they confessed that they lied for years about peacefully solving the Ukrainian crisis. In reality, they were militarizing it for years. Now they demand solving this crisis through diplomatic defeat of Russia. The upcoming conference in Switzerland will show the attitude of the entire world towards the West. The Chinese peace proposal is gaining more support than the Western Zelensky's. If you look at the proposals of Russia and China, you will find a lot of similarities. Russia and China oppose the prolongation of the conflict in Ukraine and its transition into an uncontrollable phase, emphasizing the importance of dialogue as the optimal form of resolving the crisis in Ukraine, statement by Putin and Xi following the negotiations. China supports Russia's effort to protect its sovereignty and opposes outside interference in its affairs. Moscow and Beijing will deepen cooperation in the military field and expand the scope of joint exercises. China and Russia oppose attempts by individual countries to use outer space for the purpose of armed confrontation. Moscow and Beijing will defend their legitimate rights and interests and resist attempts to limit their foreign policy and economical potential. It was noted that Chinese words from the last year and now have different meanings behind the words. In 20th of February 2023, rejection of the Cold War mentality. The security of the country should not be ensured at the expense of others. The security of the region should not be achieved by strengthening or expanding military blocs. In 16th of May 2024, respect for the state sovereignty and state integrity of all countries and their security concerns for the formation of a new, balanced security architecture. Beijing supports Moscow's position on the impossibility of peaceful solution to Ukraine with the formation of a new global security architecture. China has begun to pivot to Moscow's strategy after another unsuccessful negotiation with Washington. China sees that the USA chose the tactic of aggressive violence towards both of these countries. For Russia, it's Ukraine. For China, it's Taiwan. The US elites are like a crazy monkey with a stick which hits everyone who disagrees with them. The American elites decide to go all in conflicts with China and Russia, harming every nation, including their own. War in Ukraine became a symbolic war between the crazy American elite's ego and the entire world's demand of democratic and peaceful international relations without anti-liberal American economical war embargoes. The Russian Federation and China will improve financial infrastructure so that the payment channels between economic entities function smoothly. Russia and China will continue to develop settlements in national currencies. Head of the Department for Macroeconomic Policy and Backing of Russia, Silvanov. American elites with their own hands forced countries to refuse usage of dollars in their economics. It was a big mistake for Blinken to come and threaten China with embargoes. We can see that China has almost lost hope in peaceful agreements with the USA. A new Cold War has started, but this time the West is losing ground. The aggressive economic and foreign policies, combined with unacceptable inner ultra-liberal ideology, are driving away those who started to play a crucial role in shaping the new world political landscape. Russia and China have become an inspiring example for new players who advocate for sustainable non-interference in internal political affairs. A group of such nations already exists, known as BRICS.